Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager 24 Creator Team here on the PC. It's round 4 of our debut season with Nissan. We are heading home to Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix. So yeah, home race already. That's come around very quickly. I hadn't even considered that until just now, that this was actually going to be our home race. So yeah, that's kind of caught me up a little bit by surprise. We have got a new upgrade to put on the car, our first upgrade, a brand new underfloor. It's going to give us something. I don't know how much compared to everyone else, but it'll give us something. Let's take a look at it, shall we? How you doing, Dino? Right, where is said underfloor? There it is. So it will give us a little bit of improvement in dirty air, a nice little bit of high speed, okay in the low and the medium speed, tiny little bit of top speed, nothing earth-shatteringly big. The real upgrade package isn't really going to hit for another few races yet. We have chassis and suspensions going through. We'll have both of those on the car for the next race, which is China. That'll give us a reduction in weight and some extra speed, and it'll also give us some improved tyre wear as well. Is the team's nationality set to Japanese? It should be. It was when I started. Yes, there we go, Japan. Nearly hit the random button then. Right, so it's made absolutely no difference to our positioning, I think. Oh, maybe it's given us one position in the high speed. We're 19th now, not 21st. So it has given us something. I did say it would give us something. That's it. That's all it's given us. Everyone else will have had some upgrade or two on the car by now as well. So let's take a look at how far off we are the average with our brand new floor. We know the numbers look bad in terms of ranking, but what do the actual numbers look like? Not great. In terms of speed, we are almost exactly 2 miles an hour or 2 kilometers an hour slower than the average. So that's quite a lot. Down a fair bit in the acceleration. We're down 11% in the DRS. We're down a full point in G-force. That's a lot. And in the medium speed. And in the high speed. Wow. We're down 10% in dirty air tolerance. Nearly 3% in tyre wear, although we've got something coming to sort that out. And we're down about 8-ish% in engine cooling. So yeah. It's not a great car still. I think that's putting it mildly. But then we kind of knew it wasn't going to make a massive difference. I mean, we were going in with that upgrade with staff that at the time were, in terms of their attitude, had only just started, and facilities that are, for all intents and purposes, rubbish. And they still are. So we're not going to be getting much at all from upgrades for a while yet. We're going to be getting little bits here, little bits there. I would love to start dropping some upgrades on some of these, but the factory's the most pressing one. We have to go with that, because only being able to build 2 parts at a time, I mean, while we don't have any issues with a lack of spare parts, the second we break something that we weren't expecting to break, or we run out of spares just as we want to build something new as well, becomes a massive issue. So yeah, only having those 2 slots, not good. Not good. That's why we've dropped 7 million on that upgrade. It's going to take another couple of months until that's ready. But once it is ready, that'll make our car maintenance much more manageable, much smoother. Right, is there anything else that we do need to have a look at before we get started tonight? Let's take a look at the upcoming calendar. We know we've got a regulation vote coming after this Grand Prix. What else do we have? Got our tour center upgrade going through there. That's when the suspension will be manufactured, the first one. That'll be the first chassis, I think, or is that the first chassis? That's the first chassis. So we'll have a suspension there and then another suspension there. So the first day when we go to China, we'll have that second suspension just in time. Was Henrik not available as a sponsor? They give a boost, but I don't think it's to the factory. I think it's to the team performance. Yes, we have them. I think. Pretty sure we do. And after China, then we get another upgrade there. That's our hospitality. The ATR period ends and a new one begins. And then we go to Miami. And then we get our sponsor money the week after Miami. So, a little way to go. Evening, Adrian. I really called you Tony then. Okay, I think we're ready to set some targets. Do I want to be adventurous? You know what? We've got away with it. I say got away with it. We've performed better than I've expected, and we've played it cautious. This is going to be probably the one time for a while, maybe, that I don't play it quite so cautious, and it's probably going to bite me in the backside. But we're going to put both drivers on 18th or higher. And fingers crossed, things will go okay for us. We know we're going to have a potential wet quali, but it's going to be dry throughout the rest of the weekend. Let's head to Suzuka.
Konnichiwa from the Suzuka circuit in Japan. This unique track is a favourite home for motorsports, and it welcomes us back this weekend. Get ready for exhilaration and speed with the Japanese Grand Prix. It was Charles Leclerc who tasted victory in the last race, but he will surely be looking to find the recipe for success again and achieve another podium place. Let's get this underway.
There is our weather report. So as you can see, moderate rain on the Saturday. That will affect practice or quali or both in varying degrees. Could make it for an interesting quali. I think if we can qualify well, we can get into Q2, which for us constitutes qualifying well. If we can get into Q2, we might actually have a decent chance of hanging on to a position. If we get a good one, because this is one of those circuits where it can be very tricky to overtake, and with a realistic racing mod that we're running, making overtaking harder. The only real opportunity, I think, gets much harder on that main straight. So, are we in a position to start switching parts? Not yet. Not yet. So, setup then. Going to run with a 13 on the rear wing. I'm going to go with around a 7.5 on the front. We'll start 7 on this one. Let's go with a 6.4 on the roll bar. The toe is almost always 0. And then let's go with that, I think, for this one. And there'll be subtle differences for the other car. So we want to go with, let's see, it's normally I think 17 laps for 2 runs. Again, we're just going to do the one. We're going to go with 25 laps of fuel, I think. Should be a good number. Drop our settings down. No parts that need to be swapped in terms of aero parts, because we put those new underfloors on. So let's prep up the run plan for Teo. We will run the hard tyres in this session. Then we'll run mediums in the next one. I'm not sure what I'm going to do strategy-wise for the race. Whether I go medium, medium, soft, or medium, soft, soft. Have to weigh that up on an individual basis, I think. Yeah, setup, that's where I need to be, isn't it? So 7.5 on this one. Again, we'll go with a 13 on the rear. Gonna leave that there this time, and I'm gonna push that up a little bit further to there, and then again we're gonna drop that down to 0. So we are ready to roll. Let's hit the track and see if I've got it right or made a colossal mistake.
Should be green now.
Radio check.
Copy, radio check.
Okay, copy. Keep loading the tire as much as you can, okay?
Copy.
Is the radio okay for you?
Copy. Copy.
Okay, spinner.
Copy, copy.
I may be locked in by smoothness ratings. Yeah, that's the main issue. I think it's just whether or not they can actually manage to run 2 sets of softs. They might not have enough life in those tyres to pull that off. I know it is a viable strategy if the car is good enough, if the driver's good enough, or if both are good enough, but I'm not sure whether we'll be able to pull that off. Not without some serious finagling of pace settings. And it might be quicker to just go with the second set of mediums rather than nursing a set of softs. Frame rate is a little bit jerky in front of me, so I'm just going to see if I can maybe improve that slightly. Let's drop that down to 75. Actually, I've probably gone the wrong way on that, but no, that has improved the frame rate a bit. Let's see if it actually works with the visuals. That's so much smoother through the first sector, getting an average of 50 frames now rather than sort of high 30s, low 40s. Still not perfect, but better. It'll do. All right, let's speed them up, shall we? Wrong button. There we go.
9 not fully ready, okay?
Rear zone, cool side.
So Colapinto is sitting in for Alex Albon. And that gearbox has gone orange. So that'll be a new gearbox for Alex Albon in the next session. Williams have burnt through one gearbox now already. Once again, we have some rookies on the field. We have Behrman for Ferrari, Bortoletto and Pato O'Ward in for McLaren. Pietro Fittipaldi is in again for Nico Hulkenberg in the Haas. Iwasa is in again, this time for Daniel Ricciardo in that RB. Colapinto, obviously, as we've already discussed, in for Alex Albon in the Williams. What would make me run close to a 100 frame rate? Not trying to run 4K and ray tracing.
Can you give me quick feedback, please?
But then it wouldn't look as nice. Just the basic game engine, it doesn't look fantastic. I'm going to drop that down again to 70. I'm not looking to hit it up to 100. I mean, I think it pretty much kind of locks out at around 60.
What's your feedback?
For now, no. It feels really good.
But everything looks
Okay, copy.
fuzzier. No, like there's a dollop of Vaseline smeared on the lens when you turn this engine off and just look at the game engine in general. And on top of that, you get quite bad blurring. This helps to reduce some of that blurring and ghosting. There is some blur built into this engine now. Originally it didn't have it, but they've put it in for performance reasons, but it's nowhere near as egregious as Frontier's version. So you see there's a bit of blurring there. What I may do is I may look at switching up the engine file and seeing if there's one that's got good features without the ray tracing. But the most up-to-date version is one that's running ray tracing, and I don't know what I'm going to lose by rolling back to an earlier version in terms of stability and appearance and so on and so forth. That's a little test job for the weekend. All right, we have our feedback. Let's take a look, shall we? Ooh, excuse me. 83, not bad. And oh, look at that. That's the first time we've hit it out the park on this playthrough, on the first attempt. That's nice. That's really nice. Oh, that sliding scale, by the way, that wasn't the frame rate. That was the amount of upscaling that it's doing. You know, that's a percentage, effectively, of how hard the upscaler is working. So the higher the value, the more detail is thrown in, but the more it hurts the frame rate. Like I said, I'm going to have a proper play about with it over the weekend and see if I can find that sweet spot where it doesn't just look good in an individual circumstance, but actually works over a multitude of lighting conditions and weather conditions. Because that's something we have to take into consideration as well. You know, it'll handle and perform very differently in the wet. So, there we go. There is Teo. Happy as Larry. His setup locked in. So, he's already 85% prep. Let's take a look at Mick. So, we need to find more. Let's start by... How far away? With 17% away. So probably going to need to move that and then push that up like that. So that becomes a manageable gap for greats. That becomes a good gap. That becomes a good gap. That becomes a great gap. That doesn't move at all. That might be all we need to do. It probably won't be, but that should hopefully, if I've judged it right, should get us very close. Right, first session is coming to an end. It's time for our first commercial break. I'll see you in a second. Right, ready for the second session. We've already made those setup changes that we need to make. Don't need to make any for Teo. It's really nice. We will drop the settings down, as we usually do, for the pace. Going to stick with those mediums. I'm going to go with 20 laps of fuel in this session. And hopefully, Mick will be happy with the changes that we've implemented onto his car.
Green. So just work on tires here.
Copy.
Okay, so good work on those brakes and tires.
Copy. Copy. Copy.
See what it looks like now in car. There's a couple of places where it dips to the low 40s. 220R coming in out of the hairpin into 220R and exiting Spoon, it dips down to about 41, 42, 43. Everywhere else, it's running at high 40s, knocking on the door of 50 in terms of frame rate. So better. It's more consistent as well. It's not jumping around quite so much. So it's not quite where I want it to be, but it's more consistent, which is good. Let's speed them up now. All right, let's see. 4 out of 5 now for Mick. Not too far away from getting that all-important bit of feedback that we need from him. And there we go. We nailed it.
Yeah.
He is absolutely bang on as well. So that is fantastic. We're still in the first half of P2. Both cars fully set up now. Awesome stuff. And there we go. Just need 8% to max them out. And we will achieve that in the next session. Let's take a look at the condition of the rest of the grid's cars, shall we? So the Ferraris looking very similar to us, or at least Leclerc's is. So is Sainz. Oh, wow. Piastri's running... Of course, Piastri had that big wreck at Melbourne, didn't he? Piastri's running a new engine, new gearbox, and a new ERS. Norris is in really good shape, actually, still. Max running a new gearbox after his crash last night. Perez on a par with us. Russell in good shape, same as Norris. This is where you can see the difference between the Honda and the Mercedes engine in terms of those wear rates. Hamilton's slightly worse than George, but only just. Ocon in the Renault in decent shape. Gasly, Albon with that new gearbox of his. Sargent has a reasonably new gearbox as well. That was new in the last Grand Prix. Magnussen and Hulkenberg in their Ferrari engines. Ricciardo, Tsunoda in their Hondas. Ferraris here for Bottas. That gearbox has taken a bit of a hit. They pushed it hard. Stroll's Aston looking in good shape. And Alonso in pretty good shape as well. So, yeah, the interesting thing for Hamilton here, doesn't seem to have really suffered as a result of that collision in Melbourne. He's got a three-place penalty that will be applied to qualifying as a result of last night. But in terms of his powertrain, it hasn't affected his powertrain at all. He's got quite lucky there because, say, Oscar's powertrain wiped out completely. Max needed a new gearbox, but nothing for Lewis. He's kind of got away a little bit with that one. Right, our first wet weather, potentially, of this season. I am going to go with soft tyres. I'm just going to keep the mediums in reserve because I think we're more likely going to need those. Let's go with 20 laps of fuel again.
Green.
And yeah, there we go. We've got some rain coming. It's not a massive amount. I hope that's not the entire rain for the weekend and that we do actually get some in qualifying as well, just to shake up things a little bit. If we can time things well in qualifying, that could be a huge boon for us.
Understood.
Starting to get a little bit more overcast. Rain's getting closer, about 5 minutes. Feedback up to, well, sorry, prep up to 93%. So still a little bit of work to do in that respect. They're going to need the full 20 laps, I think, and maybe even a couple of extra. There's the warning that it's about to start raining. And there is the rain starting.
Yeah.
And there, you see that flashing through the fence and that highlighting around the back. This here is what I don't like about lowering the settings in the engine. It kind of messes things up a bit. But given that it's going to be a dry race, we'll just have to live with it in this session. And potentially in qualifying. I don't want to mess the settings up for the race itself. This is why I need to do that fine tuning and tweaking. Find something that works. If worst comes to worst, we'll just have to stop running the engine and make the game look a little bit worse, but a lot smoother. There we go. The rain has pretty much stopped. Now we're dealing with the after effects, but again, we've got that little outlining around the trees. We'll see it elsewhere as well. There, red power lines.
I'll keep you updated.
Performance trumps quality, personally, for you. Yeah, normally it does for me as well. Oh no! Damn it, Teo. He's broken the new underfloor. What he had to do is not do that. You're 3% away. Well, you're going to have to go back to an older underfloor because I'm not making another one on emergency. For shame. For shame, Teo. Now that the rain has stopped, we're not getting those weird outlines. I mean, what was it we were running yesterday? It was, wasn't TSR, it was TAL, wasn't it? Let's try running TAL at 80. I think we were getting those weird spot flashes, weren't we? Let's get to 85. Frame rate's instantly smoother. Out of spoon, anyway. Alright, looks like we'll run this one. This one seems to be okay.
So we box this lap.
Understood.
And there we go. Both drivers up to 100% on their prep now. They're on their in laps, so that is practice done with. We just need to run out the clock now. And admonish Porsche for breaking the only new underfloor that he had. There we go. City boy. So while we're letting the clock run out, just a heads up, a reminder, episode 2 of the ATS series went live earlier today, as well as another episode of The Precinct. So I do hope you check those out when you get a moment. But wait until after the live stream. And as we get ready for quali, let's pop another ad break. Okay. Practice is done for everybody. There's that reminder. Hamilton has a 3-place penalty. Both of our drivers going in with full driver prep, which is nice.
Let's hope the teams took full advantage of practice. It's time for qualifying.
Suzuka is a notorious circuit, both for its unpredictable weather and the difficulty of closely following other cars. Making the right call on when to head out to avoid traffic and dirty air can
Running
make
in the
all
garage
the
again.
difference here.
And we've got Daniel Ricciardo there, Karun. How do you think he'll be feeling going into this
Only in
one?
our garage,
The
though.
main thing on my mind
So
was
maybe
their
it's not
speed
rain.
in
Maybe
practice. They just weren't
maybe
that
someone was
fast.
caught smoking
But
in
was
the
that down
toilets
to
and it's in off the
driver,
sprinkler
the car,
system.
The team experimenting? We don't know, and we'll just have to see how they fare in qualifying.
And with that, let's get back onto the track.
See, this is a bug that happened on the console that they patched out, but apparently they haven't patched it out on the PC. Raining in the player garage. Okay, fair enough. Starting on the full wets. Let's put in 2 laps of fuel. Make sure the newbies know their place by giving them the crappy leaky garage. Yeah, maybe. Except I think this cloud's going to follow us no matter where we end up in the pits.
Green.
Oh yeah, yeah. We need to get on track now. In fact, I may have screwed up. We may actually need to call them in for a set of enters just here.
Suzuka, you need to warm up.
Copy.
If we need to abort our lap, then I will do so.
Okay, need a good out lap now. Good out lap.
Copy.
Yeah, I think if we can get 1 lap done on these wets, and then immediately come into the pits and slap on some inters, that might be the way to go. Like I said, we want to try and get both of our cars through. And I want them to have that extra bit of qualifying. I want them to have that extra bit of confidence when they do set their lap. Because we're only going to have 1 bite at the cherry of the interconditions. Once that's gone, it'll be full wets for the rest of the session again. It's so different. What's so different, Adrian? You're talking about the economy with the payouts being tiny. Gonna have to work for our money on that one.
Clear ahead. Let's go.
Get the feeling the rest of the grid is waiting for those interconditions. I mean, if that gives me a clear track, I'm all for it. Dunlop. Mick slightly quicker in the first sector. That's kind of what I expect with that new underfloor. It gives a nice little boost to the high speed more than anything else, and that entire first sector through the center S is high speed corners. Very close though still, it's only a tenth of a second. Still no movement from anyone else yet. 43.9 for Teo. 43.8 for Mick, so he's found another tenth into 130 up. Get them to head back. Valtteri heading out. Big old blob of water on the camera lens there. And we've got a yellow flag. Is that me? Please don't be me. It's me.
Yeah, I did a small mistake there.
Here's the replay. Right, let's follow the action now at turn 7. And that's... Oh,
Well,
no,
if
that's
he
not
hadn't
quite
broken
what
his
they
new
would have
underfloor, he
wanted.
probably might have done
Right
it there.
with the car, just a little. perhaps.
All right, let's take manual control to get them back to the pits a little bit quicker. They're still coming in, aren't they? Yes, they are. Because the track is now starting to dry. Both McLarens are out. One of the Ferraris is out. Albon's out in his Williams. A lot more cars now starting to pile out as well.
Pit lane. Okay.
Company penetrate.
Yeah, everybody's out now. Quick turnaround. Let's have a mistake-free lap, please, boys. This is going to be critical for our chances of actually getting out of this session. So Valtteri first through with a purple sector there, 36.0. 7/10 quicker than Norris, because Norris went a little bit too early. Actually, I'm going to keep that up so we can keep an eye on the water level. It's still falling. 35.4 for Albon now. Now 34.6 for Charles Leclerc. That's him behind us, behind Mick in the chicane. Sorry, the hairpin. Still, the water level is dropping. Hopefully we've timed this just right. It says 2 minutes till it starts to rain again, or rain hard. This is what we didn't want, was getting pulled over. There is Mick pulling over for Leclerc in the background. Porsche is just going to go for it now, so Leclerc won't be an issue. 34.6 is the fastest first sector. 41.7 in the middle for Charles Leclerc. 34.5 for Max. We've got some clear air, although having said that, Porsche has got a Williams in front, and now Mick has got a Ferrari in front. Looks like the water level is still dropping, so if we can get through this sector cleanly without being held up, we're in really good shape here, because we have the track at the best condition. There we go. It's just twitched. It's starting to go back up. We're through past the Ferrari. 35.1 and 35.2 in the opening sector. That's not too bad. Max is absolutely flying. Look, 138.1. .42.4. That's not quick, but it's quicker than Stroll, it's quicker than Russell, quicker than Zhou, quicker than Hamilton. Mercedes could get knocked out here, depending on what happens with the weather for the rest of this session. We're up to 11th with Porsche. Mick might go a little bit quicker. And he does. He goes nearly 3/10 quicker. He goes up to 11th now. We're 11th and 12th. Russell is in the drop zone.
Very, very slow in.
Copy.
And the track is starting to get wetter again. Question is there going to be time for anyone else to pull out an improved lap? This is not behaving as expected, so it might well be that it does ease off again in a moment. But if that's the case, we'll have time for one more attempt. But right now, we are through with both cars. Happy days. Everyone's on an in-lap, or already in the garage. It is still dry enough. There we go. Norris and Valtteri have gone straight back out again. I'm not going to. I don't think going straight back out is the right thing to do, because the track is getting worse, and it's only going to continue to get worse for the next few minutes before it might potentially ease down again.
Copy that.
Good entry.
Track water level still just slowly creeping up. They're the only two who've gone back out, but they are right at the bottom of the drop zone, so they do kind of need to. Oh, there goes George. George needing an improvement, and one of the Ferraris as well, Carlos Sainz. interestingly enough. Wow, more cars are going out than I was expecting here. They're all going out, look. I still think holding on might be the right way to go. Chance of rain drops to 85% rather than 100% going forward. Yeah, there we go. Look, everyone is piling out again. Now, this puts me in an awkward position. Because if I wait too long, I'm going to have all of this traffic to contend with coming through on my warm-up lap, and then all of that traffic to get past on my flying lap. Water level's going back down again, look. I think we have to go now. It's a little earlier than I would have liked to have gone, but I think we don't really have much of a choice. Otherwise, we're just going to get absolutely battered with traffic. We're still going to have to pull over for a couple of cars. You can see we've got an Aston coming through. I can see one pulling out behind me as well.
Hold your tires.
No.
Copy.
So we've got Alonso starting a flying lap. And then behind that we've got Valtteri.
Focus specially front left.
Oh, no, Valtteri's already on his lap. There's Valtteri. And there is Norris on his lap. He's being held up through Spoon. Valtteri's not had a good first sector. Norris has found a good improvement. I don't think Valtteri's going to get himself out at this rate. Decent middle sector. But that first sector's done all the damage there for Valtteri. Track water level still a fair bit higher than when we crossed the line as well. So at this rate,
Your mirrors.
unless that water level starts to fall quite dramatically, we're not going to see much in the way of improvements other than those who got very badly blocked. And Valtteri's done. Valtteri has crossed the line, has not improved. He is out. There's one less car for us to worry about. Norris improves, but only to P12. He splits our two drivers. We've got a really good chance of getting both cars out of Q1 here. Porsche now crossing the line to start his flying lap. There you see the Aston behind. We are seeing a lot of improvement in the first sector. Here comes Mick, and Mick is potentially going to get hit with Alonso through Dunlop. We're dropping down 14th and 12th now. Joe improves to P16. Tsunoda goes up to P9. Gasly goes to P16, so Joe is out. Hamilton coming up to the line soon. He's just coming out of 130R now. Russell's got himself up to P8. And we have yet to come across Alonso. So this is actually going to work out quite nicely for Mick. He'll pass him through 220R. Down to 16th now for Teo. Hamilton's got himself up into P8. We haven't improved in the first sector. We might be about to hit the limitation of pace. If I can at least get one of my guys through, that would be enough. Sargent has gone quicker than Porsche in the sectors, but only went to P20. So I think Porsche is probably out. Mick might just scrape through. Yeah, no improvement for Mick. No improvement for Teo. Teo is out. Can Mick hang on? I don't think there's anyone left on a hot lap. I think that's everybody. Yeah, there we go. So we managed to get Mick through. We almost managed to get Teo through as well. In the end, just falling short. But if he had that new underfloor, I think he'd have made it. That's such a shame. So at the end of Q1, Teo is out in P17. Joining him will be Gasly, Esteban Ocon, Logan Sargent, Zhou Guan Yu, and Valtteri. So one of the Williams, both of the Alpines, and both of the Saubers. Let's get ready for Q2. Still raining. Back on the full wets again. Let's stick 2 flying laps in the car. And let's take a look. Oh, it's going to plummet right down, isn't it? All right, let's get a couple of laps in quickly then. These are just going to be confidence builders because the track is going to be so much drier in the matter of minutes that these times are completely irrelevant. It's all about getting that confidence level as high as we can. You see now the water level already plummeting, and it is plummeting because this is at real speed and it is just dropping like a stone.
Copy.
Second flying lap. There we go. We've gone top, just. But more importantly,
Copy.
we're into almost completely maxed out confidence there. Just a little bit shy of maxing out peak confidence there. We're going to have time for 1 lap. So we'll go with a brand new set of inters. I'm going to put an additional... Actually, no. Let's go 2 laps, no cooldown. We should just about be able to get away with that. See, we can spook a couple of other cars coming out early. I doubt we can. So 2 back-to-back flying laps, no cooldown. We should be able to save enough battery because it's wet conditions. It won't destroy the tyres because it's inters. We've got enough fuel for this second run.
This is a good position for us. Go on.
Everyone else is out on those inters. Water level is still coming down.
Let's go. Come on. Eyes forward.
I want to monitor my battery level. So far, so good for Mick. $33.7. Let's see what the rest of the grid's going to do. First up is going to be Alonso. I think, oh, actually, no, it might be Hulkenberg. He is 3/10 quicker than us. Water level is still falling, and we are doing another flying lap straight after this one. We are going to be a little borderline actually on the battery. But we're going to have the track in the best condition. I'm actually a little worried about that battery level now. I really hope we've got enough. Might be a bit awkward at the end of the lap. So 33.0 is the quickest first sector. Hulkenberg and I are about to get dropped to the bottom by everybody else. We have improved in the first sector by 3/10. Sorry, 39.5 in the middle for Perez. Perez is cooking. And there we go, we're out of battery. We're not going to get any launch out of final curve, unfortunately.
Yeah, copy.
40.1. It's just not quick enough, is it? We might jump Alonso, but even that's unlikely now because we're out of battery. Even though the track is good, really good. Maybe I should have just waited. I thought we would have enough battery, but yeah, there we go. Well, we improved and we out-qualified Magnussen, but it's only P15. We had the potential there not to make the top 10. I mean, Verstappen barely made the top 10, so we had no chance of getting in the top 10, but we had the chance to maybe get up to 12th, 13th, 14th, but kind of blew it a little bit there. But yeah, well, I say that. I don't think we could have made up half a second in the final corner, which is where we would have lost, the bulk of the time. So that's not bad. That's not bad. We will take that as is. Let's see who sticks it on pole, shall we? having barely made it through into Q3. He then sticks it on pole. Leclerc is second. Look at this. Sonoda and Ricciardo, the two RBs, third and fourth. Wow. What a good race for them this could be. Then it's Stroll in fifth, Norris in sixth, Perez in seventh, Sainz down in eighth. Then it's Piastri in ninth, Russell in 10th. That's an unusual grid, and what a great race this could end up being for RB here.
It won't be long before we get underway here in Japan with 53 figure-of-8 laps around this historic circuit.
Anything can happen at Suzuka, as Kimi Raikkonen proved in 2005. The Finn battled all the way from 17th to win. Will we see a similar show of will and talent today, I wonder?
Suzuka is a high-speed, high-downforce circuit with unpredictable weather. Drivers need to have total trust in their cars to make the most of this challenging figure-of-8 lap. Here we are, folks. We're back for another day of scintillating F1 action. It's race day.
It is race day, and we need to sort out our strategy. So, can we actually make that strategy work? Just about, by the look of it. I have to say, I am surprised by. I didn't think we'd be able to. It is a little tight. Let's see what would happen if we gave ourselves a bit more leeway, which I'm more inclined to do given the dirty air that we're likely to encounter. It's only a second slower, but we're not living on the edge of the life of tyres. So I think I will go with that one for Mick and also for Teo. Let's just be sensible. Our plan is to try and steal some points by getting in front of someone and then just holding them up. So let's see if we can do that. And then we'll have a set of softs in reserve if things get a bit weird with safety cars, etc. Let's take 2 laps of fuel out because we might get lapped. And then that's a lap to save. How much fuel is it per lap? 1.8 kilos. So we're going to take about 3.5 kilos out of the car. Not going to push anything at the start. And the Japanese Grand Prix is next.
Well, it's great to have you with us, folks, as we settle in for the weekend's Grand Prix action. I suspect that we'll all be closely following Charles Leclerc in this one.
A second place start for them today. They'll be aiming for a podium, but could they even sneak the win?
But there's no more time left. We've got a race on our hands. Get ready. It's the Japanese Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go.
That's a lot of spackling. There we go. Snap back into focus. Still a little spackly, but see how we can do. We're fighting with Lewis here, and he is going to hold us back. Someone's got damage already on their underfloor. It's Stroll. Stroll has damaged his underfloor already. That didn't take long. 2 corners. That's the camera I meant, not to speed it up. Alright, we are in danger of being dropped. So, let's turn up the batteries.
Yeah, copy.
Don't want to lose the back of Hamilton.
Gear is enabled.
Not if we can avoid it.
In 2 seconds.
And he's still pulling away from us. Mind you, everyone's going to be pushing their batteries as well, and their tyres a little bit as well, by the look of it. Can you shift an 18-speed gearbox? What, me personally, or is it possible to do it? It's possible. I've got a shifter, but I haven't got it configured. I want to get used to just using the wheel first before I even think about going to a gearbox. And then when I do, it'll just be a sequential, I think, just, you know, up or down until I've got used to using a gearbox. And then I'll start to look at going into something a little bit more realistic. But that's going to be a little way off. That's a project for further down the line. All right, we've given up the DRS to Magnussen, and in the background there to Ocon. We hold Magnussen back, but Ocon gets through on Teo. Let's save our battery now.
Copy.
So Mick's doing all right. Still has his new underfloor. Doesn't quite have the legs to... Oh, that spackling's doing my head in already. Nope. Settings. Still bad. I don't know what's causing it. Let's turn up scaling off. Let's see what happens if we turn it off. We're going to get a lot of ghosting, I think. It's actually looking better than I thought it would. frame rate struggles a little bit through the beginning of Dunlop, but not too bad. I can see some ghosting. But I can live with the ghosting more than I can with the spackling, as long as the ghosting doesn't get too severe. Little bits flickering in the background, but it's a lot better than it was a moment ago. We'll leave it like this, I think, for the rest of this race. Still doing it. Why? Why? Might have to watch the RPM with it first till I get used to it. Oh, absolutely. I will almost certainly blow up an engine. I'll be practicing with a shifter on a test file. I certainly won't be doing it on the main file until I'm comfortable shifting. So our target for today is to get both drivers into the top 18, which we are doing at the moment. I'm wondering if we're going to see the potential for 3 stops out of the AI. There's got to be something I can change this to that won't look like crap. That still looks pretty bad. We might have to just remove this mod. Oh, that gives me spackling and really bad ghosting. Oh, Jesus. DLSS apparently really hurts everything. Put it on auto. Let's drop everything down to high and just see. That smooths things out. Oh, the frame rate much better. So here's the real test. There's some, but it's better. We'll run like this. I'll remove the mod afterwards. You can see it definitely looks blurrier. Doesn't look as crisp and sharp, which is the whole reason I had this in the first place. But at this point, I think I'll just cut my losses. Oh my God, now I'm getting horrible light flashes. Right, we're going to remove this right now because this is driving me insane. So let's make a new save. I'm going to quit to main menu. I'm going to shut the game down, take those files out, and reload it in just a second. So, original system files, there we go. Engine. It's not there. It's not there. Nope. Nope. This isn't what I was looking for. Damn it. I've lost the original files. I might have to do something else. Okay. I know what I can do. You have to bear with me here. Let's go with the non-ray tracing variant. Oh wow, that goes back to version 3.3. Ooh. Alright. It's going to take too long to figure out exactly what I need to change. There's one other thing I can try doing, and that's running it in a window. Evening, Clark. Let's try running it in a window. Let's see. How we do with this.
How about that?
Good, it's okay.
Oh, there we go. That's much better. Getting some little sparkles instead of the black spackling, but that's much easier to live with.
Understood.
The joys of trying to figure out the ins and outs and specifics of graphics cards when you're used to decades of playing on consoles. Right, we are 4.5 seconds behind Hamilton. Battery is starting to come back. Let's burn it. Starting to gain a little bit of improvement over people. And we have a yellow flag. Someone had a whoopsie. That Joe, it is.
Right then.
Locking up at the
take a look
hairpin.
now. Here we are then at the 11th corner. Oh, and the car locks up. By that point, it was just too late.
Yeah, it's definitely running better in a window. I think this might be how we run it from now on. Because it looks nice and crisp and sharp, and it's running pretty smooth. And we are making absolutely no impact on Lewis Hamilton. And Porsche is not catching Ocon. I'm expecting him to be the slower of the two today as well. What with that older underfloor that he's had to run again. Another yellow flag. That is, I think, yeah, one of the Mercedes. Wasn't sure which one.
Down at the hairpin. Very heavy on the brakes. Now they did leave it very late.
Well, that's it for the battery.
Copy.
And we've made no inroads whatsoever. But Magnussen's tyres are really struggling, and so are Porsche, so are Ocon's. So
Copy.
at some point,
Copy.
I do expect them to start to really struggle. Gasly, though, in better shape than his teammate, and now he slots through on Teo. That's not so good.
Just focus on yourself now.
Another yellow flag. Does that show again? No, it's Russell again.
Let's have a look at that. It was George Russell involved.
This carries too much speed into
that's
Spoon
not quite what they
over
would
the
have
curve
wanted.
and drops
Perhaps a
another
little
2
lapse
places.
in
Now he's behind
concentration,
Hamilton
maybe.
and Alonso. And Mick has actually started to drop Magnussen now. Stick with Teo. His mentality's not great. Or his confidence, rather.
Copy, copy.
We should be able to hopefully get back into back past Gasly pretty soon. Oh man, look at the state of George's tyres. They're at 20% thanks to those lockups. He could puncture on this lap if he's not careful. Albon's tyres looking pretty ropey as well. Expect them both to hit the pits this lap. Ocon's got past Magnussen Looks like he's pushing for a pit stop. Surely George is going to box. Yes, he is. There we go. So, first car into the pits. George Russell. Courtesy of two big lockups. Got a set of softs for him. And he might get out. No, he's going to come out just behind Joe. There goes Joe. So that drops him to the back of the grid. Porsche's confidence has rebounded. Still haven't got close enough to Gasly to get that move done though. Albon will be in this lap. In fact, we're going to see a bunch of cars boxing, I think, at the end of this lap. Maybe Ocon, Albon, Magnussen's close, Joe. Next lap, we'll see some more drivers boxing as well. There's Albon in. There's Ocon.
Okay, pit window is open.
Copy.
You ready?
Copy, copy.
It's a bad stop. It's a really bad stop. Now they get the old tyre off and the new one on.
And who's that having an issue?
And
in
then
the
they have
pits?
to wait for Ocon to be released before they can release Albon. What a disaster stop for him. There's Joe in the background.
How are the tires?
I think I might try, actually. Because that dirty air didn't really hit us, did it? I think I might try and go medium to soft. Yeah, let's try it. Right, Porsche has caught back up to Gasly. See if we can squeeze a bit more battery out of him. Actually, no, let's just see if we can get past him. Get the overtaking.
Copy, copy.
Alonso's in the pits, so is
Pit window.
Magnussen. Gasly stayed out. Here's a chance for Teo.
Copy.
Just gonna have a look at the inside. No. Gasly shuts that down. So back into harvest mode through the first sector, and then we'll try again through 220R. Maybe we'll get lucky there.
Okay.
Max boxes. Here we go, lining up a run on the back of Pierre Gasly. We are closing in, but not enough. Can we get him into 130R? Or the triangle? Would be nice to get the overtake before he dives into the pits, which he's almost certainly about to do. Just for that extra bit of confidence for Teo, but don't think we're going to manage it somehow.
Copy.
Yeah, Gasly's into the pits.
Copy.
So is Valtteri as well. You can see there is Alonso, and in the background George and Albon. No, George and Sargent. And Ricciardo pops out right behind us. Let's see if we can hold up Ricciardo for a lap or two. Probably not, given the huge disparity in tyre life, but you never know. Schumacher is currently ahead of Perez, up in 7th place. Hulkenberg's still yet to stop as well, but the gap is huge, 11.5 seconds. And all credit to Mick, he's doing a bang-up job today. Ricciardo's still behind Teo. And yeah, we're not going to be able to hold back Perez. That car is just way too quick. Breezes past us, but if we can stay with him, maybe something good can happen. Let's take a look at Teo.
Come on.
Through goes Ricciardo, but we're keeping Alonso behind. And this is all helping Schumacher
Okay.
in a roundabout kind of way. Boxing at the end of the next lap. How far off the lead are we? 43 seconds off the back of Leclerc, who's just boxed, with 52 seconds off the back with Porsche. So we've got enough of a gap to box both drivers on the same lap and even compensate for a mistake. Another set of softs for Leclerc. Here comes Lando Norris. Max leaving the Casio triangle now. He'll get past Norris. Will he get past Charles Leclerc? There is the Ferrari, so he will get right on the back of him. There's Norris. And it's Lance Stroll currently in 3rd place, although he does need to stop again. Piastri gets through on Mick now. Alonso's gone through as well. George and Hamilton scrapping behind us. There they are.
Copy for red.
They're probably both going to get me here.
Box, box.
Box.
No, we hold back Lewis. Let's work on putting a little bit of battery in the car. Oh,
Copy, copy.
something's happened to Hulkenberg. It's a safety car. Oh, that has worked out beautifully for us. What has he done? He's hit the wall and bounced back out by the look of it.
Okay, remember to respect Delta time.
Copy.
Make sure the brakes are kept alive.
Oh, this has worked out so nicely. Because it's going to be a safety car. It's not going to go red.
That sucks real bad.
For you, it's amazing for me. I'm going to get a free pit stop onto the safety car. So is Lance Stroll. What amazing timing that was for us. And now we're easily going to be able to make this tyre strategy work. So glad I didn't box on target. Stroll slaps on a set of softs. Where's he going to get out? Is he going to make it out in front of Perez? I don't think he will. Tsunoda's in. Mick's in now. There goes Perez, but he gets out in front of Oscar.
Pit lane.
There's a few cars boxing who've already stopped. Oh, this is amazing for us. 2.5 second stop, that's pretty good. All things considered. 8th quickest stop so far, but that'll change. Another 2.5 second stop, that's slightly quicker. We are 10th.
Gap 3.5 seconds.
And 14th. And all those cars that had already stopped and were threatening to push past us on our in-lap have also stopped. That is beautiful. We're running in the points. We're not going to stay there, but we're running in the points, and we've got a gap to Alonso as well. There's Mick exiting Degner 2. There's Alonso entering Degner 1. Although that gap's going to disappear. I just realised it's a full safety car. That gap's gone. But even so, tenth and 14th on brand new tyres.
Copy.
It seems our good fortune continues. See if we can get a good thumbnail for Suzuka.
Keep rear brakes alive. tires are okay.
Copy.
Copy.
There we go. That might work. Let's drop an advert in, seeing as we've got this safety car. So we've got another lap, maybe. Yep, another lap behind the safety car. So this is going to do our tyre strat a huge boost. No one's gone on to hards. Everybody's on mediums or softs. And we are now neutral on fuel. So anything we build up on this lap, we can immediately burn if we choose to. Could probably burn at least half a lap of fuel as well, a kilo of fuel, and make that back before the end of the Grand Prix, just in normal running. I'm glad I took 2 laps out. I think if I'd taken 3 out, it was running that risk that if we didn't get any kind of VSC or safety car, that we would have had to do some serious fuel saving, which would have ruined any chance of a good finish. But 2 laps seems to have been the sweet spot, because now we've got a little bit of surplus. All right, there's a safety car coming in this time. Second split is coming up. This is usually when we find out. Oh, there we go. Across the second split line, safety cars coming in.
Safety car in this lap, confirm. Get ready for restart.
Copy.
Copy. Yeah, copy.
Copy. Okay, copy, copy.
And we are back up to speed. Green flag conditions. Lap 20. Leclerc leads from Max Verstappen. Lando Norris is third. Then it's Carlos Sainz, Checo Perez, Stroll in 6th place with a damaged underfloor. Then it's Oscar Piastri ahead of the 2 RBs of Ricciardo and Tsunoda. And Mick is currently running in P10, although I don't think he'll stay there. Alonso 11th, 12th, George Russell. 13th is Gasly. 14th, Théo Pourchaire, running the older spec underfloor because he broke his, as Mick is overtaken there by Alonso on those soft tyres, pushes us wide, and Russell sneaks on through as well. It's cheeky. And now we're getting dived by Gasly as well. Schumacher losing 3 positions. Not a good restart. Then it's Valtteri from Hamilton, Ocon, Albon, Magnussen, Sargent, Zhou in 21st, and Hulkenberg retiring. We didn't see what happened. I think he went wide at Degler 2, hit the wall, bounced across the track, and that's why he ended up in the middle of the road and brought out the safety car. But there we go. That is the current order, as Valtteri is having a look at Pourchaire. We might need to turn our batteries on.
Nearest is enabled.
Evening, Farrah.
Copy.
Copy.
Currently P13.
Gap 05.
So once again, we're seeing quite a few cars pushing hard at the start here. Gasly's tyres are already down to 75%. He might be one of the drivers that didn't box, because he'd recently boxed right before the safety car. 13th and 14th, it's not quite the heady heights we were just a lap ago, but it's still excellent for us. Tyres are in really good shape compared to everyone else. If we can ride this out over the next couple of laps, I think we'll be in really good shape. There is a risk for Pourchaire. Might not have got the DRS. Valtteri is lurking. He didn't get it. There is Valtteri. Realistic racing means that that doesn't have the same impact that it used to, and it was enough for us to stay ahead. And I'm going to slow down Schumacher, but keep pushing Théo. See if I can get him back into Schumacher's wheel tracks. Just give him a little bit of tyre as well, just to help him do that. See if I can leave Valtteri behind and let him and Hamilton squabble. That's it for the battery.
Copy.
Yeah, copy.
Copy.
Right, Valtteri is not in DRS range, which means he is vulnerable to Lewis.
Copy.
He's already threatening. He's going to get him, I think. It's turn 1. Starting to close back up to Gasly. Hamilton is through. Just need to get Théo a little bit closer. New underfloor is worth a couple of tenths through the first sector. Which is why it's such a shame that Pourchaire broke his only copy during practice. And here comes Hamilton having a look. Kept that shut down. Please get the run through 130R here.
Try to get him. Get him.
It's tight. I think we just made it. I hope we just made it.
Copy, copy.
Yes, we did, just.
Nothing to overpush it.
And that should hopefully protect me against Hamilton.
Copy that.
Now we can go into top up for Mick and let Mick start to close back in on Gasly. I might have to just cut bait here with Teo. Oh, Gasly's off. It's a VSC. We just saw bits of carbon fibre flying there.
ESC. Watch for your delta.
Copy.
Let's have a look as we go into the 13th corner. And ends
Drops it
up
on the
making
exit, a
contact
spoon.
with the barrier. Well, they may have been keen to leave their mark, but I think that was a little too literal, don't you?
Kind of wish we'd been riding on board to see that. That would have looked pretty awesome. Gasly playing peekaboo through the trees there. So, 12th and 13th. Could we actually score a point at our home Grand Prix? That would be an incredible
He looks okay.
stroke of luck.
Keep an eye for
But it's a big gap already. Look, we're 12 and a half. I mean, it's a VSC gap, so it's not quite that big, but we're probably close to 10 seconds behind George Russell. And once again, this is really helping our change of strategy. Being able to just protect the tyres a bit, get some more bonus fuel, refill the batteries. We will have to be very wary on the restart. Hamilton will be quite aggressive, trying to punch past Porsche. And I think this is the risk. Do I keep Mick and Porsche together to help Porsche and damage Mick's chances of maybe stealing a point at the very end of the race? Or do I send Mick off up ahead, hope that he can do enough to be in with a chance of stealing a point, leave Porsche vulnerable to Hamilton, and then potentially leave Mick vulnerable to Hamilton as well? It's a tricky one to decide. I'm not quite sure which way I want to go on that yet. Let's take a look at how our tyres are performing. Pretty well so far.
Copy.
VSC is going to end at some point on this lap. We're already up to a lap and a half, well, a kilo and a half of fuel. So almost a full lap's worth of spare fuel. It's 1.8 kilos around this track for a lap. There we go, that is a lap's worth of fuel.
VSC is ending. VSC is ending.
Copy that.
Try to get this tires up, okay?
And we are back in the green flag conditions. I don't have a lot of battery for Teo, which is why I'm not pushing pushing Mick yet. Because Hamilton's going to be using whatever battery he's got. If not immediately, then very, very soon.
Pressures and temps are looking stable.
Copy, copy.
I think the second Porsche gets overtaken, we will have to consider bolting with Schumacher.
Copy. Copy.
So the gap is 11.5 seconds to George. It's a bit bigger than I thought it would be, unfortunately. There is still the sword of Damocles hanging over Stroll. All he has to do is go over a curb at the wrong point and that underfloor breaks and he's out. So that's potentially one less car in front of us, which means we're then only one place away from points. So somebody else in the top 10, top 11 retires, apart from Stroll, we could be on to steal a point. Evening, Harvey. And that's another reason why I'm hesitant to break Mick away, because the longer we keep Porsche safe, the longer we're keeping cars like Hamilton and Ocon, who could well be dangerous to our chances, kept behind us. Kept at arm's length.
Okay, copy, good.
So far, it seems to be working out for us.
In 2 seconds, gas. I know, mate. Just keep it cool.
What lap are we supposed to be stopping? Lap 37. Still not sure what the AI is going to do. I've got to imagine that some of them are going to go onto hard tyres. Looking at Piastri, I mean, maybe he can take mediums to the end, as Hamilton has another look there. It's again, he shot that down. He is getting more and more threatening. Ocon's right there as well.
So let's try to do a Belgian cannon.
still keeping him behind. We're lapping a second a lap slower than George, but only about half a second slower than Alonso, so it's tricky. They're all stuck behind Ricciardo, so they're all kind of lapping to Ricciardo's pace. We're about half a second slower than the lead car of that train, which is an 8th.
In 2 seconds, yeah. Don't worry.
I need a little bit of oomph.
Copy.
It's starting to just slip. Hamilton is really lurking.
Copy.
Here he comes again. Hasn't got the legs.
Come on.
You called your team FedEx Racing. You see, I think you should have a team name and then just put FedEx in there as part of that, as a title sponsor. Like it's Oracle Red Bull Racing. Oracle are the title sponsor. Or Cognizant Aston Martin. Or Aston Martin Cognizant, I think it is. I think you should create a name for your team. Porsche is losing ground again because he's having to defend.
Copy, copy.
Hamilton really is turning the screw a little bit.
Eyes forward.
I am a little concerned here, not going to lie.
Let's get him.
I think we might be about to see Hamilton try and push through. Now we've done enough. Got enough of a launch out of final curve to keep him at bay. But we've had to destroy our battery again.
Remember, we need the tires for long.
Copy that.
And still that pressure is piling on, and still Teo is dropping away. I think we are going to have to just cut bait with him at some point very, very soon. It's the last chance we have to try and get back
You're
in
looking
range.
strong, damage.
I've got nothing left in the battery now. If I can't stay in range here,
Copy.
then it's time to bolt with Mick and just hope that Porsche can do enough.
Don't go crazy on the rears.
Okay. Copy.
That was 14 seconds to 8th, or the 8th place train. Really wish Porsche hadn't broken that underfloor. We wouldn't be having these issues
Stay focused.
if he hadn't destroyed it, because he would have that performance improvement as well. It's not massive, but it's enough. It's noticeable. Science is in. So is Oscar. So medium tyres for Sainz. And medium tyres for Piastri as well. They're both going to get clear of me. I think.
Still a very long way to go.
Could I get in front of Porsche, in front of Piastri briefly here? There he is. Yes, and yes. And Piastri's going to drop out. Oh, side by side with Hamilton. He's got him.
Let's take over up.
All right, we're getting close to our pit window, so I'm going to start to build a gap between our two drivers now. Nothing too substantial, but I'm going to try and start to refill the battery and just hope that Teo can do what he needs to do. Let's put him in always defend. See if that helps.
Focus on yourself.
Charles boxes from the lead.
Good defending.
And Max and Norris are in as well. Medium tyres. Soft tyres. Soft tyres. We had a yellow flag and it's Hamilton locking up.
There. Round the spoon curve. And the car fails
Oh,
to
that's a
respond,
big lockup.
and they ended up their own passenger.
Stroll is in as well. Stroll really benefiting from that early safety car. He goes onto a set of soft tyres, but he still has that broken underfloor hanging over him.
Come on.
This is where Piastri gets through. There's no way we're going to be able to hold him back, I don't think. Yeah, just too much in that McLaren.
Just do your best.
I've had a huge amount of fun with the precinct. It's just so stupid at times. Watching the AI, just it's like Keystone Cops half the time. You know, you'll see it on an upcoming episode. I actually didn't realise I was muted for the entire episode, so I just did a little bit of voiceover when I was editing, just to say no commentary on this one. I forgot I was muted. Sit back and enjoy kind of thing. But I called in a riot van, and about 2 seconds later, you just see this riot van go flying over the top of me, straight over the dock into the water.
Yeah, copy.
All right, Alonso's in the pits. There is Lance Stroll. He's going to punch through on those softs. I can't hold him back. But Piastri's still stuck behind me. Ocon making a run at Porsche, who's now pretty much full on his battery.
It's a long race, come on.
Yeah, I think it'll probably finish the story. Well, the storyline should finish next week. There might be a few episodes once the storyline's concluded, just so I can continue leveling up and getting the last few unlocks. But having a huge amount of fun with it.
Copy.
Still, Piastri has not been able to get through on Mick. Now Perez boxes. He was briefly in the lead. Leclerc goes through into the lead and sets a new fastest lap, a 1:29.8 in the process. Yuki Tsunoda running well here in his home Grand Prix as well. He comes in. This is going to be for soft, surely. No, mediums. Maybe he doesn't have another set of softs. But Yuki comes out. He's going to come out behind Mick and Teo. Oh, nearly tagged by Alonso there. Alonso and Ocon are through as well. Ocon needs to stop. Alonso doesn't.
Nothing we can do. So
Piastri has
forget about it.
finally got through.
Now look, here we head into turn 2. They decide to give it a go. And they move into 9th.
But how many laps has he stuck behind there? Quite a while. Boxing next lap. So let's turn the tyres up.
So let's pick up the pace.
2 laps left for Mick. They're too close to box on the same lap. Disaster for Hamilton. Well, there's still cars that need to stop, so he will get elevated. But yeah, not good. Oh, Russell's got a broken underfloor as well now. So that is the 2 cars that could potentially retire in front of us and maybe give us a sniff of a point. And how glorious would that be? Ricardo goes onto a set of soft tyres. Alonso's probably going to get me here.
Box, 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 box.
Copy, copy, box, box.
And he does.
I feel you've got the pavement. Let's put pressure.
Okay, we
Let's
push
at least
now,
try
we
and
push.
stay ahead of Ricardo. Schumacher frustrating Alonso. Realistic racing has really worked to our benefit so far in Season 1, but I think when we are the car that has the pace against the cars that don't, it's going to be a complete reversal. Oh, there we go. We've got a VSC. Who was it? Who was it who went out? It's not Valtteri. I get the feeling it was Ocon. Yeah, it's Ocon. He's gone out at the second Degner just before the crossover bridge. So we're going to box. Well, we are boxing this lap. Let's get some spare fuel. Box Mick next lap because I don't want to box them both on the same lap. VSC should be fine. I'm kind of hoping. What happened to Ocon? That's both Alpines out.
Remember to follow your delta.
Copy, copy.
Oh, yeah, just dropped it.
Can't do work.
And we're going to get a cheaper pit stop again, right as we're about to stop. This has worked out so nice. We got a safety car, a full safety car, when we were about to make our first stop. We'd already committed to the stop, and then the safety car came out. And now, just as we committed to Porsche's stop, we get a VSC as well, and he's not in. No, he is. I'm looking at the wrong car. Jesus, scared the shit out of me then.
Just watch out.
Now it's a disaster for Hamilton, because some of those slower cars that he had hoped to maybe claw back, stopping nice and cheaply. .52. We've been hitting the 2.5s very consistently this race. We're coming out in 13th place on brand new soft tyres.
16 laps of racing from here.
A problem for Magnussen in the pits, who was close behind us. Oh, I know that groan. I've made that groan noise myself many a time.
Copy.
Laps.
So this looks like it is very much going to be a dominant win for Charles Leclerc. A long way ahead of his teammate in second. Max could yet take second place away from Sainz. There's time, and he's got good tyres. But the Ferraris have been on it at the start of this season. They really have. Into the pits for Mick.
Copy, pit entry.
Need a good stop now. He'll come out in front of Teo, all things being equal. With a bad stop, will drop him behind his teammate, which is not what we want. Mick is the quicker of the two today. It's 2.7. It's not the quickest stop, but a couple of tenths won't change the positions. There he is. Oh, look at the timing on that. Back up to full racing speed.
Copy.
That's beautiful. That's just beautiful.
So get these tires back up to 10.
DRS enabled.
So, we are 17 seconds. Well, maybe less than that, actually. Let's see, how far behind are we? The two RBs. Wait for the timings to reset. We are not going to be beholden to Porsche now. Porsche can fend for himself. Gap's going up. I think they're sprinting. But again, we are 2 retirements away from a point by default, and we've got 2 drivers who could break their underfloor in Stroll and Russell. They're already damaged. Another big whack on the curb will spell disaster for them.
Copy.
So about 15 seconds away from Sonoda, 16 seconds away from a point. And we have fresher tyres. Let's see what we can do, if anything. In the words of a very weary security engineer, hold on to your butts. New fastest lap for Lando Norris. He is pushing hard onto the back of Max. Nearly gets him. We'll keep an eye on these two at the moment, because we are still quite a way off anything. But we have the tyres and the fuel to get to the end without any saving. Turn the batteries down. We've opened up a little gap to Sargent. Hopefully he can frustrate Bottas, Albon, Magnussen, Hamilton, Joe. Hamilton's stuck down in 18th place at the moment. He's going to be lucky to make 14th in this Grand Prix. Sainz 7/10 of a second, or 6/10, just over, slower than Leclerc. That gap's going to keep going up. Max is through. I wasn't even paying attention. Max. No, Max was already ahead, wasn't he? Max might be able to catch Sainz. He's lapping a couple of tenths quicker, but he's got Norris for company. And I think his tyres are going to give up before he gets the chance. I think Max might be vulnerable. I thought he might maybe be able to go after Sainz, but with Norris all over him, he's having to push his tyres to stay ahead. And he's slower because he's having to drive defensively. Maybe Lando could sneak the podium. Maybe Lando could maybe even sneak second. Still have 11 laps to go now as Leclerc crosses the line. Our chance of a point rests very much in the hands of the cars in front of us. We have a yellow flag. Ricciardo running wide through Spoon.
Here we are then, reaching turn 13. Just a bit too wide at that point, and you really can't do that too often with these cars.
That's done a little bit of damage to his tyres. Nothing too substantial, but it's dropped him behind his teammate by 3.5 seconds. Has that put him potentially vulnerable? Let's keep an eye on pace. So 30.3 for Sonoda, 34.5 because of the lockup. Let's see what he does on this lap. See if he gets back up to speed quickly. We did a 1:31.5, so 1.2 seconds slower than Tsunoda, 1.5 seconds slower with Porsche. In fact, no, just 1 second slower with Schumacher. And Porsche's crossed the line, he's matched. So, actually, yeah, we're only a second slower than Tsunoda. Only a second. Sargent's got a queue. They have all formed up behind him now. Hamilton is there as well. Joe 5 seconds further back on his own at the end. And there's a really good chance Joe's going to get lapped because Leclerc crossed the line. He's not that far behind on track. And he's doing nearly 3 seconds a lap more. You know, faster pace than Joe here. So, yeah, we could well see Joe get lapped. I don't think anyone else will. But you never know. Right, where's Ricciardo? There he is. He's lost more ground to Tsunoda. Does a 1:31.5. That's 0.2 slower than we did last lap. What do we do this time? Theoretically, we should be even quicker. Less fuel on board. 31.1. 31.4. We're slowly, and I do mean slowly, chipping away at the back of Ricciardo. Got a nice, healthy gap now to Logan Sargent, who still has a queue. He's just right on board on the ham cam as he tries and find a way past Magnussen here.
Don't worry about that now.
I'm assuming you're enjoying this, Farah. There's just no way through. Everyone is in the train. Until Valtteri can clear Logan Sargent, everyone's going to be stuck. And I don't think Valtteri's car is good enough to clear Sargent at this point unless he absolutely guns it. And if he's going to do it, he's going to have to do it quickly before his tyres wear out too much.
That's my mid.
Even if we don't end up getting any further up the field, 12th and 13th will still be our best result of the season. And we took the gamble with the sponsors and said that both cars would finish in the top 18. So we'll get the biggest payout from the sponsors we've ever had as well. Hamilton is getting a little frustrated, having a little look. Is he going to try a lunge in the triangle? No, he's not. And still, everyone is held up by Logan Sargent, who's now 8 seconds behind us. We're now losing time to Ricciardo. tyres looking? Not great. Oh, a mechanical fault for Sargent. This could be the break
Well,
that
yeah,
everyone else
right.
needs.
It certainly looks like they've developed a fault.
Check with Valtteri. Oh my God, that's very bright.
Yeah, man, no stress.
I'm debating when to push Schumacher's tyres a little bit, but I don't think it's really worth it, to be honest. The gap's so big. Doesn't matter how hard we push, we're just not going to catch. Right, is this the moment for Valtteri to get past Logan Sargent? Everyone behind is begging for that to happen. We'll see Zhou in a moment, and you'll see Leclerc, maybe. He's getting very close. Little half look from Valtteri, still can't find a way through. And there is Charles Leclerc. He will lap Zhou. There's still 5 more laps to go after this one. So almost 6 laps left. Norris still hasn't been able to get past Verstappen, and they're now too far behind, I think. So it looks like it's going to be another 1-2 for Ferrari. They have been off to such a strong start. Piastri is right on the back of Stroll. Stroll goes very defensively. Piastri cuts to the outside. Can he swoop around turn 1? No, he can't. But is this going to force Stroll into a stake that puts him over a curb and breaks his underfloor? I'm hoping yes. I'm also hoping Russell does the same. 2 retirements will get me into the points. Evening, Wayne. How was Fernbus?
Copy.
Fuel is now used for both cars.
Copy.
That gap's now 11 seconds. What is the fault that he's having? I'm curious. Let's have a look. ERS. And still, he's holding up Valtteri. Leclerc has got past Zhou. He's actually going to hit the rest of them as well. I didn't think he would. Piastri again forced to look at the outside. He's not going to get through around the outside. Here comes Charles Leclerc coming up to lap Hamilton.
To go.
Copy.
And this might actually be a bit of a blessing for these cars. This might allow them to punch past Logan Sargent, depending on where those blue flags are waved.
just focus on yourself now.
So Hamilton should lift here through Dunlop and does. Magnussen will lift here on the exit of Degner 2. Albon is passed before the hairpin here. And this is opening up gaps. You can see Albon is staying tight to the back of the Ferrari here. Hamilton's now got an opportunity at Magnussen. Albon losing ground a little bit. Valtteri will be up next.
Copy.
Valtteri's going to lift through the triangle.
Come on.
And that's not worked out for anybody apart from potentially Albon here. No. Can Hamilton get Magnussen? No. Norris still can't get past Max. We have 3 laps to go. Can Piastri get past Stroll? I don't think he's close enough. And his tyres are worse than Stroll's as well. He's got a better car and he's a better driver. Real Racing Mod says, I don't care about that stuff. Russell's the highest rated of the 3 of them, and he's got the best tyres of the 3 of them, and he can't even get close to Piastri at the moment. Still no change here. Everyone's caught right back up to Logan Sargent. There might be a chance for Valtteri here. He's pretty close. We're the last cars on the lead lap now. We're far enough ahead that we're not going to be lapped. But unless something dramatic happens, we've hit the ceiling. Valtteri doesn't have the pace. Sargent's ERS fault has cleared up. I think he's going to stay in 14th and just frustrate the crap out of everybody behind. Come on, one of you guys, just lock up, take the other one out. 2 retirements, 1 point for me. That would be incredible. You know you want to, boys. You know you want to.
Head down now. Try to get a good pace.
Copy. Copy, copy.
Still nothing. Ah. Out of Dunlop into the Degners, and Russell all of a sudden is right there on the back of Oscar, whose tyres are screaming now. As are Max's, but Norris's aren't much better. Come on, big lock up at Spoon. You've already locked up there once today, George. Have a lock up again into Piastri. Somebody lock up into the triangle, please. Max starts his final lap, but his tyres are about to cross into puncture territory. I think he'll be fine. We still have one more lap to go after this. Is there one final twist in the tail?
Last lap.
Copy.
Doesn't look like it. Leclerc is about to cross the line and win. There we go.
Copy.
Charles Leclerc comfortably wins from his teammate.
That's Leclerc. Charles Leclerc is today's winner. Charles Leclerc there, taking home the win.
What an achievement! Sometimes you take the incredible skill of these drivers for granted, but not today.
Sainz will come home in second. Max is going to hold off Norris. Just his tyres absolutely down to the canvas. But he gets on the podium. Can Piastri have a lunge at Stroll and do something stupid? No. Ah, damn it. Alonso's right there with Russell. Nothing doing there, though. Hamilton stayed in 18th, couldn't get through. Nobody got past Logan Sargent, who ended up 17 seconds behind us in the end. And here comes Mick. He'll bring it home in 12th place. It's a new best finish for Mick. It's a new best finish for the team at our home Grand Prix. 12th and 13th. That's our best result of the season. And I am over the moon with that. It's just a shame that things didn't quite work out in terms of getting a point. But we were up in the points at one point in the race. We had as high as 9th. Although that was, I think, down to just not
This
boxing.
is a wonderful moment for Charles Leclerc as well. Such a beautiful result.
That was a really well-executed race, I thought. Major credit to the driver, the pit wall, and the whole team for that win.
The team has been waiting patiently there, and you can see just how much it means to each and every one of them. Out and onto the podium steps Charles Leclerc, the driver from Monaco, really deserving of that top 3 spot.
Ferrari drivers looking
What an
happy. Max
excellent
looking a
way
bit
to take
miserable.
the second win of the season, with a composed performance today.
And a lovely show of sportsmanship to conclude proceedings here in Japan.
Dominant performance from Ferrari today. Leclerc's hair getting really glitchy.
Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
It was a strangely mixed weekend for them. We saw one driver put in a strong performance, but it was a different story for the other. Definitely positives there, though.
And that's all for today as we wrap up the weekend here in Japan.
Join us for the next round as we head to Shanghai for all the excitement of the Chinese Grand Prix.
So then, confirmation of the final results. It is a win for Charles Leclerc. Good performance from Sainz, who qualified down in 8th place, ended up taking a pretty strong second in the end. A long way behind his teammate, but comfortably ahead of the fight for third. That was won by Max Verstappen. He takes 3rd place in the final step on the podium. Lando couldn't quite get him, but does get the consolation of the fastest lap and that bonus point there. Perez up a couple of places into 5th. Not bad for him. 6th for Stroll, 7th for Piastri, 8th for Russell, 9th for Alonso. And that early promise from RB fading away. It's Yuki Tsunoda who gets the final point at his home Grand Prix in 10th. Ricciardo down in 11th. But both RBs down considerably. They started locking out the second row in 3rd and 4th and ended up 10th and 11th. We finished in 12th and 13th. What a great day for Nissan. And last cars on the lead lap. Lapped in 14th was Logan Sargent, up 6 places, up 7 for Valtteri in 15th. Then it's Albon in 18th, Albon in 16th, 17th is Magnussen, 18th, and down 7 places, Lewis Hamilton, who ended up getting completely stuck with that entire second stint there, or third stint. And Joe a lap down and way off the pace today. Still up 2 places though, thanks to retirements. Ocon hitting the wall after going off at the second Degner. Gasly going off at the exit of Spoon. So both Alpines retiring. And Nico Hulkenberg bringing out a very early safety car at the end of our first planned stint, when he also went off at the second Degner, bouncing back onto the track. And luckily, we didn't get a red flag. I think that might have been the realistic racing there kicking in, because that would normally have been a red flag. So, Charles Leclerc stretches his points tally and now actually jumps his teammate to go top. They both are on 80 points, but it's 2 wins to Charles and 1 to Sainz. So, Sainz drops into second on countback. They are ahead of Max and Lando. Those 2 drivers swapping places. They're both tied as well on 55. So they're both 25 points away from the Ferraris. Then it's George on 33 points. Perez in 6th on 32, right behind him there. Stroll moves above Oscar Piastri by a point. He's now got 20 to Oscar's 19. Hamilton stays 9th with 12. Alonso ties him up, but has a lower finish position in total. So he is 10th. Then it's Yuki Tsunoda with another point for himself. Ricciardo 12th. Valtteri 13th. And then the first of the non-scorers, Albon 14th. 15th for Hulkenberg. 16th and up 2 places is Mick Schumacher at the expense of Porsche and Ocon. Sargent moves up 3 places with his finish today. He's up to 19th now, ahead of Magnussen, Gasly and Zhou, who drops to the bottom of the standings. In the Constructors, Ferrari now on 160 points. They're almost double Red Bull after just 4 races. They have made a mighty start, winning 3 of the opening 4 Grand Prix. They have been rapid in these last couple of Grand Prix in particular. Red Bull on 87 points in second, picking up 25 today. 19 points for McLaren. They're now on 74 in third. Mercedes have 45 in fourth. Then it's Aston in fifth with 32. Then a big gap back to RB. They have 9 points in sixth. Just a single point for Sauber in seventh. And then it is 8th place for Williams. 9th for Nissan. We move back above Haas and back into our target position for the end of the season of 9th. Haas down now into 10th. Alpine stay bottom of the standings. Let's take a look at the pit stops. How do we do there? Let's see. We got one of our cars in there. Couldn't quite manage both. Quite a tight field once you get down to 6th, because our second stop was also in a 2.5 range. So very, very close in this little bit down here for the bottom points. But it's Red Bull with the quickest stop and the third quickest stop as well. So big points for Red Bull today here. Ferrari gets 2nd and 9th. Good points for them. Mercedes 4th. McLaren 5th and 7th. Alpine have got some good points in 6th with 8 points there. We get 4 points and Aston get just the 1. So let's see what that does to the standings. It is McLaren top with 94 points. Ferrari have closed the gap a little bit by 4 points. They're on 75, 19 behind. Big jump for Red Bull, though. They scored 40 points today. They're up 4 places into third on 64 points, jumping Mercedes, Alpine, Williams. Sauber also down a place as well, thanks to Alpine's points. Seeing them jump over Williams. RB have 12 points in 8th. 9th is Haas with 10 points. Aston in 10th with 6. We get our first points. We are off the mark, but we are not off the bottom. We are still in 11th place, but only 2 points behind Aston Martin now. And there you see our stops all very close, apart from that last stop for Mick. 2.57, 2.52, another 2.52, and then a 2.74. So the pit crew is starting to improve, and we actually got some points today, which is very, very nice. Both drivers also get their payout of 452 grand. So that gives us 904,000 to add to our bank. let's head back to HQ. Porsche goes up by an overall rating point. He's now an 80 rated driver. Very nice. We have stuff to look at in the inbox. Suzuka has accepted the contract offer. We'll deal with that in a second. Let's see. Oh, look at this. We destroyed that new underfloor, but we also lost 2 rear wings, a front wing, and a suspension. A lot of parts failing there, unfortunately. What did the board think of our best result of the season at our home Grand Prix? They were delighted. They were delighted with that, as they should be, as they should have been with Melbourne. I can't believe they were disappointed with Melbourne. I would have accepted a satisfied. I would have preferred a happy at least, but disappointed. That's just brutal. Right, Suzuka has accepted the contract. We've offered him $90,000 signing fee on $100,000 a year for 4 seasons to join immediately. Let's confirm that hire. There we go, and we have a rookie that we actually want, that we can start to develop as a driver. So, let's see. Why is he negative about me? Other staff and the performance. Hey, look, this is a better car than you've ever driven before, with better staff you've ever worked with before, so shut your mouth. Let's see, where do we want to focus his development? Driving standards would boost his control, which isn't great. Smoothness needs some work. Cornering and braking aren't too bad, considering his age and lack of experience. Let's go with this, I think, to start with. We'll go with wet track to boost his control and smoothness. The adaptability and accuracy would be a nice bonus. And then when we've had him on that for a little while, then we'll look at moving him on to something else. So he is neutral mentality at the moment. 47 marketability. And very high development rate. So hopefully we can improve Suzuka quite nicely over the next couple of seasons. Regulation vote change. So, high speed or low speed changes are being fronted. Do we want to work on the low speed or the high speed? Let's go for high speed, I think. Fix up the car. Cars in plural. We have got some parts we are going to need to manufacture, like the new underfloor. Don't think we've got a slot available for that yet. No, we don't. And we won't have for a while. So this is why we need that new factory, because we now can't give Porsche the new underfloor for probably about a month. That's really not helpful. Really not helpful at all. We need those suspensions and side pods, though. We have got a new chassis already. Let's give that to Mick. I think Mick deserves it, the way he's been driving these last couple of Grand Prix. Let's take a look at the drivers. He has the higher mentality right now. He actually has the higher stats as a result of that. Look at that. Porsche's up into max development. Mick into very high as a result of their boost on their mentality. So hopefully we can see a nice little bit of improvement from our drivers here. What are we working on with Teo? I don't remember. Race strategy for smoothness, overtaking, depending reactions. Yeah, he needs that. Right. We can't use the scouts. The scouts are being used as part of the sponsor work this month. We are 11 days away from China. I don't think there's anything we can do. Let's check in with our facilities. Not there, here. So, an upgrade there's 2.2. Another race sim upgrade is 2.8. Just pricing things up at the moment. Let's get the helipad upgraded. We can afford to do that just. That'll be worth some extra cash. Next up will be an upgrade to the memorabilia room. That'll be another 880 grand. Weather center and boardroom will leave alone for now. We're down to 250 grand. That's enough to build a wing, but we don't have the slots to do anything. So let's push forward. Tour center upgrade is done. Let's go to the facility. That's just a 50k upgrade for the final one, so we'll do that as well. That'll take 18 days. Wow, 18 days. But that will push us up to 96 grand a week. And also improve our team marketability as well, which is quite nice. The helipad will also improve our team marketability, improve that sponsor payout. That's 10 days away. I don't know if that will be in time to affect our China payout. We'll see. Let's see if China pays out a little bit better than we got here. I know we've got low stock on the underfloor. Can't do anything about it. Let's see what the results of the regulation vote is. As Power Rivera goes up to a 79 overall. That's nice. April staff survey. Mick, full enthusiasm. Teo, a bit miserable that his car is not as good as his teammate, but he's only got himself to blame on that. Our engineers are neutral. They're still very unhappy with the car, unfortunately. Matt Harmon is loving life here at Nissan, isn't he? Getting treated with the respect that he never got at Alpine. Positive for Dirk de Beer as well. He's a little unhappy with the drivers, but it is what it is. Aurelian is still a bit of a grumpy Gus. Tuka very unhappy with car performance, as are our other reserves as well. What is the result? It is low-speed wing changes. So we voted against that. We voted for high speed, along with Sauber and Mercedes. 8 to 11, the vote passes. Sorry, 8 to 3 then. The vote passes in favour of low-speed changes. We'll have to factor that in to our research, which we can now start, or we could if we had the money, which we don't. Mitoma Miata has accepted the contract. What do they offer him? 2 seasons, 950k. I think he joins us at the end of next season. So we'll pay out his signing bonus. And yeah, he will complete his season in F2 and then join us next season. So hopefully he will develop a bit more. Not in our affiliates list yet. Won't appear in that list until next year. But he will be a nice development driver to have, which means that we can then get rid of one of these two. Carlo will be out of contract. We'll just let that expire. And then we might fire Nut if we have the cash. Let's see. We've got a weather report. It is cloudy over the sprint, and then it'll be a bit warmer on race day. And that will be tomorrow's Grand Prix. Might be able to do something in the sprint. You never know. We should now have another chassis as well. So there we do. Install that onto Teo's car. And we could also do a suspension. The other one won't be ready. The other one's supposed to be ready now. Oh no, China tomorrow. We'll do those both at the same time. There we go. Now we can put the suspension on. Please don't break it, guys. There we go. So what's that done to the car? See the little difference between having the underfloor and not having the underfloor for Porsche there, and he's only got himself to blame for that. So we've improved the speed. Let's see where we are against the average now. We're still pretty bad. We've improved the downforce again a little bit more. Tyre wear's 11th. I think that might have held pace with where it was before. But the gap in terms of speed has come down. It was a clear cut 2 kilometers an hour. Acceleration is still about the same. DRS is still about 10%. We have gained a little bit in the downforce, but not much. We're still down in dirty air. If anything, we've lost a bit of dirty air. Tyre wear better than the average, just. Engine cooling is about the same, about 8%. Let's compare ourselves to Sauber. So they're quicker than us, but not by a massive amount. They've got a big acceleration boost over us. Very close in DRS, very close in the downforce. We've got much better tyre wear than them, according to the rankings. And also, look at the numbers. Wow, they're only at 30% on tyres. No wonder Valtteri is burning through his tyres so quickly. They've only got 30% tyre preservation. Let me check. Are they running different cars? No. They're running the same on both cars. Wow. Okay, so we definitely got an advantage over Sauber. Haas, they've got a big speed advantage over us. Acceleration, 7% in DRS. Pretty handy amount in the low speed. Less so in the medium. And less so in the high speed. They're about 7% better than us in dirty air. We've got much better tyre wear. How is that only 19%? What have they done? Have they just sacrificed tyre preservation just to slap as much downforce on the car as they can? 19%. That is horrific. Oh well. More fool them. Better for me. Williams. Not quite as quick as Haas, but still quicker than us by about 1.4k. A little bit closer in the acceleration, a bit closer in the DRS. Full point of G, or 0.1 of G there. A little bit less in the medium, fair bit closer in the high speed. Dirty air's only, well, less than 6% now. We've got a nice little advantage in the tyre wear. We're down about 7% or so in the engine cooling. Yeah, we're not too bad, are we? We're looking all right. We're looking okay. I mean, these numbers don't look great, but we seem to be doing all right in terms of results. We've got a couple more upgrades on the car. We still need to get more parts built. We've still got 9 days until we can clear off one of those chassis, and ideally we should build another chassis as well, so we've got more than one spare. But how long we got to go on the factory? Still got 2 months to go on the factory. That's going to really hurt us until we get that unlock. But once we get that unlock, we'll be in much better shape, I think. So there we go. That is it for today. That is the standings. Ferrari threatening to run away with things a little bit in the constructors. They're looking very strong. Both drivers tied for 80 points in the drivers. Max and Lando tied for third. But yeah, that big gap in the constructors not looking like it's going to come down anytime soon. If anything, it might get bigger and bigger over the next few Grand Prix. But we're doing all right. We're doing okay. If we scroll down a bit, you can see we're back to 9th. We are getting closer to points, although I still think we're riding a bit of luck to be able to get where we're getting. sooner or later that luck is going to run out and we're going to find ourselves way down the order in a Grand Prix. But we're not doing too bad in the standings, 16th and 17th in the driver standings. There's only a couple of drivers ahead of us who haven't scored yet. That's Albon and Hulkenberg. And then everyone else above us has scored points. So we're ahead of quite a few drivers. That really helps us. And we've signed ourselves a new pair of drivers as well. Tuka is with us already. Ritomo Miata will join us as a development driver next season. So things are starting to take shape and put us in a good place for later in this year and into next year. And then we get our first sprint race tomorrow. So hopefully you'll join me for that. We'll be going live at the usual time of 8 p.m. We will, of course, have another episode of The Precinct tomorrow at 6 as well. Hopefully you'll check that out. And there'll be some more ATS next week. I'll be recording some new episodes for that over the weekend once I've had a chance to sit down and play with the wheel and get the buttons configured where I want them. And we'll try and get an ATS stream in at some point over the weekend as well. Sorry, an ETS stream, a Euro Truck stream in over the weekend. So that'll be kind of just as and when I've got the time. There'll be no announcement on that. It'll just be, boom, we're live. Come join if you want to. Yeah, I hope you have enjoyed tonight's stream. If you have, drop a like. If you're not yet subscribed, why not consider subscribing to the channel as well. Be sure to hit that bell for notifications on new videos and live streams, especially the random live streams that will go live at some point over the weekend. And then we'll be back to our regular schedule again on Monday. Until then, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with more F1 Manager very soon.